all hyped up, ready to go.
Yeah. If any second now I sound like I have Tourette's, just pay no mind to me.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Steel Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Romero from SteelSanctuary.com. And this is my co host, David Cora. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, brother?
A little bit of Steelers news came out today in the last couple of days. They have signed first round pick Troy Fuatanu. So that leaves just Zach Frazier left unsigned, which I'm assuming will be happening fairly soon.
Yeah, I hope.
You would hope, right?
Yeah.
Let's go, Zach. Sign that contract, get everybody in. What else we got? Steelers got another wide receiver, Dave. Don't get too excited, though. Jaray Jenkins
Yeah.
out of out of LSU. They cut Luke Barku, who I thought maybe would possibly have a chance to make the team, but not going to happen. I looked up Jaray Jenkins stuff from the combine, Dave. 6'1", 204, 4'6", 40-yard dash.
4'6".
Yeah, only a 29-inch vertical. That was third percentile. Not very good at all. Can't body.
How's he feel about tight end?
How's he feel about not making the team at all?
Yeah, there's that too.
But at least it's not a tight end. Or I guess it could be, right? Those stats, you're right. Andrew Filipponi had an interesting thing today. He said that Omar Khan called the Vikings on Justin Jefferson earlier this year. Did you see that one?
I kind of did. I was like, oh, okay. They really are, not leaving one stone unturned.
I was
going to
say, yeah, they are
really
beating
looking.
the bushes on everybody.
Yep.
I mean, good on them if they could have somehow pulled that off. I don't know what it would have taken, but
I mean, I don't even think we covered it on the last pod. Maybe it didn't come out until after, but like, wasn't there something about the Steelers thought they had a trade in place for Ayuk before the draft? Didn't there was there a report up? Yeah,
Oh,
it
was
was
it
Ayuk.
Debo? Was it Ayuk?
Oh no, I thought it was Ayuk.
That could have been.
It was for one of them. Either way, they thought they had a trade in place for one of them, and it's just like, damn, I wonder what happened. I wonder why it didn't go through. But Steelers seem to have thought they had a trade in place to go get him. I think it was right before the draft they freed up that money. Remember, they restructured Highsmith, I believe, and so it's just like, remember, we were all wondering what was that about, and guess what? They thought they were about to acquire one of those 49ers wide receivers.
That would have been sweet.
And then Steelers insiders are saying, hey, post June 1st deadline, man, like Steelers going to get somebody. So we're seeing more guys getting signed to big time deals. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, that price just keeps going up and up, up. I don't know how the Steelers are going to pull it off, but next season they will have a ton of unrestricted free agents.
Yeah, that's what makes it fairly difficult to.
If as long as the guy that whoever they go get is cool with them backloading it starting next year, then we have a shot. You know what I'm saying, to get one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a money issue. It's just how much draft capital are you going to give up for one of these guys that you have to pay?
Bro, this is quarterback money. They're getting quarterback money. They are literally like, wow.
Justin Jefferson signed today, 4 years, $140 million, $35 million per. It's just, I mean,
crazy. Honestly, so, in my opinion, it's crazy.
Yeah, Ayuk is $30 million at minimum, and probably around 32, 33. He's not quite Justin Jefferson, but he's in that neighborhood.
Yeah, he's close.
He's close. So, and you got CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase up next. Oh, I don't think either one of those guys. Well, maybe Jamar Chase gets more.
Chase, I could see getting a ton. Yeah,
I mean, I saw a stat today. Justin Jefferson has the most receiving yards in the first 4 years of his career of anybody in football history. I think it was.
Wow.
So he set the bar, but
Jamar Chase, that's impressive
too. So I don't know. I don't know how. We talked about it in the last pod. How do you trade for like Ayuk, give him $30 million, and then have to pay George Pickens next year? And what we didn't cover last week is TJ Watson the last year of his deal next year. So he's going to want a new deal.
Oh, jeez.
And what do you pay that guy?
I didn't realize. Wow.
This is
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, he's got 2 years left on his deal. So next year will be his last year. And that's a whole nother can of worms, Dave. What do you pay a 30, he'll be 31, a 31-year-old edge rusher? You're going to give him 30 plus million bucks a year?
Well, here's the way I look at it. If they do get an Ayuk or someone and they do have to pay the 30 mil per whatever, this might come as a shock to people. I don't know. I think they let Pickens walk. I thought that they would want to pay him instead because he's their guy. He's their guy. Yeah. But if you pay the 30 mil already for one, how the hell are you going to afford to pay Pickens that? I don't think they can. I just don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Last podcast I said if they're going to pay one, they're going to pay George Pickens. But if they go and they already pay Ayuk, how do they do it?
I don't know, man. And
that's like Cam. Cam, then you got to think about the defensive side of it. Cam Hayward wanting how much money he wants. You just brought up TJ that I forgot about. Like,
he's not a free agent, but he's going to want a new deal.
Oh, he's not going to want to go. And then Minka, his extension, how far does that go out? I'd have to look at that.
I think it's one more year after TJ, so he's still a little ways away.
So, like, there's some guys on this team where it's like, shit, Dave, that's a lot of money.
Who the fuck plays quarterback for this team in 25? And how much do you pay that guy?
You read my mind. I was just about to bring it up next. Is that who the fuck you paying to play quarterback? Because if Russell Wilson has a good season, you ain't paying him. He's going 40, 45 mil, and you ain't going to be able to pay him that.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot.
Bro, they're going to have to hope that Fields doesn't play at all. They offer him whatever contract that's lower, and he takes it. And then pray that they hit on him being their future QB.
You got to pray that he's good, because if he doesn't play much, you're not going to know much about him. So that's
right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
crazy.
This is
and you don't want,
this is uncharted territory for the Steelers. It really is.
Big time.
This is
big
nuts.
Time. And you don't want. I know we're getting far out on these scenarios, but if they're paying Ayuk or somebody like him, and they decide to pay Pickens, then you don't want some scrub quarterback throwing it to him. You just paid a lot of money on wide receivers. You want a quarterback that can get the ball.
And I think it's good we bring up these scenarios, because this is what people need to be thinking about. They need to be thinking about, what's going to happen here in the next year or two, because it's going to have a drastic effect on this team. Yeah. Like, you only, we have a cap. You only have so much money you can give out. So, like, I know that Khan can work his magic, but I mean, sooner or later that magic goes away. Like, you can only have so much magic in one go here with the salary cap. So Highsmith, they're paying a shit ton of money. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know. The only thing I think they do. What? Could you imagine if they say fuck it and they do just go, yeah, George Pickens, good luck, and we're just going to draft no wide receiver. They might just go that route. They may just keep pumping wide receivers out of the draft.
That's the way I feel like you should do it going forward. You should draft 2 wide receivers every year, because this is crazy money. And if you hit on one, you can trade them for a boatload of picks. I mean, this is nuts. $35 million a year for top end receivers is just crazy.
Yeah, right. And we're about to give up how much to get Ayuk?
Like, I don't.
And that's the other. And that's the other thing. Like, you don't even take picks. Like, you don't even got to take the money into it. How about the draft cap where you're going to give up 2? Like, do you really want to double whammy your team like that? Like, like, that's, if you do it, fine. But that means that Pickens is probably gone. Like, I don't think they can afford to pay 2 wide receivers quarterback money. They can't do it.
The Dolphins are doing it. They're paying $30 million to Tyreek and $28 million to thing. But they
now name their defensive players. They're paying 25 plus. 20 plus.
They don't have any.
So they can afford it.
Yeah.
So okay, fine. They're doing it, but they're neglecting their defensive players altogether. They're not paying any of those guys.
It's true.
Top money.
You're absolutely right.
The Steelers are the opposite. And that's why we've been preaching for how many fucking years that this weird got to go all defense and hope it's old school football wins is just crazy, because it's just not feasible that way anymore. So you're dumping all your money into your defense. Yeah. Think about it. Last year, was it last year before we had the highest paid defense in the league?
Last year, yeah.
What did that amount to? Not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
because the offense was so bad.
So, okay, the Dolphins, high-powered offense, right? Now, mind you, they didn't make it far either, but they're pumping their money into their wide receivers because of the fact they don't pay defensive players. So we've got big issues here. We're not going to be able to keep any of these guys if we go get Ayuk. That's the problem.
The other alternative is you go get somebody a little lesser, like a Traylon Burks or even a Debo Samuel, who's signed for what 20 something million. It's like cheap now compared
Right.
to
Right.
the other con. And
Ridiculous.
Traylon Burks isn't making anything, and you go that route. Um, those seem the more likely. You don't have to give up as much draft picks, and you don't have to pay him as much. I don't know. I don't know what they do because you're right. You can't. You're gonna have to choose between. If you trade for a big time wide receiver, you're gonna have to choose between George Pickens or T.J. Watt, or because
Right.
you can't have them all,
No, you have to decide.
or a
That's
quarterback, or
why
you go rookie quarterback.
that's and again, that's why you go back to this stuff with Cam Hayward and whatever money he thinks he's entitled to on top
He's
of
not getting it.
TJ on
He's not
top.
getting
Right.
anything.
That's been my
They
point all
can't.
along is
They
that there's
can't.
no fucking way. And I'll bet
No.
they weren't expecting this from Cam either. I'll bet this caught them off guard
Yeah,
because
probably.
they don't got the money. Like, there's just no way that they can afford a Fields or Russell Wilson next year, an Ayuk, and a fucking George Pickens, what he's going to want, and a TJ Watt. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
On top of the money, on top of the big money they're already spending on Highsmith. Highsmith is how much? Or is he only like 16 mil per? I can't remember. It was like a $58 million deal over how many years? I can't remember. But I'm just saying, like, this
I
is
think
stuff
he came short.
people got. Yeah,
It's still a lot
This
of
is-
money, though. I mean,
right. This is stuff people have to think about. Someone's got to go. Like, you can't. This isn't Disneyland where everybody, the magic just keeps flowing through and everybody gets what they want. Like, someone's got to go.
I guess theoretically, if your other scenario where you pay Justin Fields 20 million per season, maybe you could pull all this off. Maybe.
You got to hope he doesn't play. You got to hope
Pretty
Justin
much.
Fields does not play and then wants to return and be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah, because
So-
if Justin Fields plays and has any success whatsoever,
The price goes up.
I mean, quarterbacks are getting 50 million. What does he get? 30? 35? Who knows?
Yeah, I was looking at Richard Krikorian said he was just listening to the last pod and Dave saying 9 kids had me going. He said,
Tyreek Hill. He's
Tyreek
got
Hill,
at least
yeah.
5 or 6, right? He's up there.
Yeah.
He's very prolific, I guess is the word I'm looking for. We talked about Cam Hayward a little bit. Mini camp is up next. It's mandatory, but the fines are not mandatory. Do you know what I'm saying? If he misses training camp, it's automatic fines. The Steelers can't decide not to give it to him. It's automatic.
Right.
Mini camp's a little different. He can get fined, but it's the Steelers' discretion. So does Cam Hayward show up at mini camp?
I don't know, but them 2 weeks went by quick. He was supposed to be probably signed. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened. My man's
And
all in.
if he doesn't show up to mini camp, do they fine him? Probably not, right? They probably
No.
just
They're not going
let
to
it
create
go.
that bad. They're not going to create that bad
this is
situation there.
becoming an issue.
But it's getting there. We're
It's going to be a
getting
big story if he's not at mini camp next week. It's going to be a big story.
Yep.
And it's going to be a distraction.
there. Again,
I mean,
they can't pay him. Period. They can't. We just covered the 5
don't.
other fucking reasons they can't. So I don't know what to tell the guy. They're 35. Like, get over it. Get over
I
yourself.
wouldn't. I mean, you know my stance on it. I wouldn't pay him. I'd be like, we'll give you, well, I don't know even what I'd give him as a base salary, but non-guaranteed.
bro.
So if you start screwing up,
And we forgot. They're going to pay Frymouth. They're going to pay him here.
that's
soon.
right. That's right.
Dude, there's no fucking way that they could afford an Ayuk to pay Pickens next season, TJ, Cam, Highsmith on his salary. He's already got Minka, Firemouth. That's 7 motherfuckers that
Yeah.
are going to want at least anywhere from 10 to all the way up to like $30 million. Like, there's no way. There's just no way.
It's amazing they have this many players commanding these kind of salaries, and they haven't won a playoff game and haven't even been successful. And so I don't understand how. I don't know how this happens.
Richard on here said they partially created this monster. Correct.
Him?
They did. Yep, absolutely. They were so dedicated to having the highest paying defense because of the way they think that now they were forced to have to, go all offense here until they had an actual capable team that, dude, they've put themselves in a hell of a corner. Like they missed on Kenny Pickett. They missed on Kenny Pickett, which really hurt them.
Really, because he'd still be on a rookie contract.
Now you brought in two guys that are going to potentially want 20 to 45 million fucking dollars if they do well this season. That are free agents.
Yeah.
So, like, and then you got a 35-year-old defensive lineman demanding him get paid tons of money, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you got, and this is the other thing, you got TJ Watt, in my opinion, the best defensive player in the league, who's now starting to hit that pinnacle where it's going to start going downhill. He's going to want his last fucking paycheck, his big pay.
And what do you pay? That's the most interesting one of all. What do you pay him?
Right.
What do you pay?
I mean, it's TJ Watt. This guy we know is going to bust his ass to be.
Yeah, but he's also getting.
But we're gonna get to a point where it's going to be like, okay.
It's sacrilege to say things negative about him, but he is getting injured a little bit now, and
that's a good point too. I didn't even think of the injuries like on top of that. Yeah, literally. So I don't know how they do it, Dave. If they go get Ayuk, everybody can go yay, and I'm going to be like, you wait.
Well, we can't say it wasn't part of the plan because we're getting all these reports, and they can't all be wrong, right? That they tried to trade for Ayuk, they tried to trade for Jefferson, they tried to trade for Debo. That was reported in the middle of the draft.
Like, how do I put this? I'll be hyped. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll be hyped for this season. This season, I will be like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, it's going to be rough.
Hard choices.
I don't know if people know that or if they're ready for that. Like, there's going to be. I mean, like I said, the amount of free agents that we'll have next year that are leaving, maybe that is why they think that they can make a run at this. Like I don't know.
You put Brandon Ayuk on this team, then they can make a run. They can make a run at
it. Yeah, there's no doubt this season they make a run. It's just that next season.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, hard choices, man. You got some tough choices. All right, Dave, I didn't even give you a heads up on this. We're going to play a little game.
Oh.
I've got like mini predictions for the season. I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios, and you tell me what you think for each one, all right? Who's going to have more tackles in 2024? Cole Holcomb or Mark Robinson?
Cole Holcomb.
Think so? You think he'll be healthy enough to
I don't even know if Mark Robinson makes this team.
That's true. Maybe I should use Peyton Wilson. All right, how about Peyton Wilson?
Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, I should use Peyton Wilson. Mark Robinson's a bad choice.
Yeah. I think before it's all said and done, it's mostly Queen and Wilson.
Yeah.
Dude, Wilson was the best linebacker in this draft because of his injuries. That's why he fell.
Yeah.
If that guy's healthy,
if he stays healthy. That's another one.
If he's healthy, look out. That's all I got to say with him and Queen. Whew.
Yeah, don't forget Atlanta Roberts, too. He's in the mix there, too.
Oh, actually, I love Atlanta Roberts. I'm just saying, like, those two guys could be both really good and complementary to each other to where you're like, okay, yeah. But Cole Holcomb, I think he does get to play, but I don't know how much.
Yep. More catches in 2024. Darnell Washington or Connor Hayward?
Wow, that's a good one.
That's tough, right?
That's a tough one because you're hearing all this stuff out of OTAs and all that stuff that Darnell Washington's looking great. So it's just like, okay, but are they going to actually throw the ball to him, or is he just going to be a sixth lineman essentially blocking? Yeah. Because if that's the case, then I will go with Connor Hayward. If not, then I'm going to go because I think Darnell Washington's a talented pass catcher. I really do.
Yeah. Connor Hayward had 23 receptions last year. Darnell Washington only had 7. So
I'm gonna go Darnell Washington. I'm gonna go Darnell Washington.
I think I'm gonna go Connor Hayward. I think that he's gonna be sneaky good.
I think house money should be on Connor Hayward, but me, I'm gonna get a little crazy. I'll go Darnell Washington. I think maybe he goes off. Maybe they did hit on this pick to where they can utilize him as a pass catcher in this offense. I mean, Moose said it himself. Like, he's excited because the tight ends are going to get really involved with the passing game. If that's the case, then I think that, especially in the end zone, I think you're going to see more out of Washington.
All right. More receptions. Roman Wilson or Jalen Warren?
More receptions? Wow, that's a good one
Jalen
too.
Warren was second on the team, which just surprised me, with 61 receptions last year. Only 2 less than Pickens for the team lead, which is crazy. I didn't even realize he had so many.
Because that's all Kenny Pickett did half the time was dump it off to Warren. I mean, yeah. Let me get you started.
All right, so we're gonna have a change of the guard and not so many dump offs and more receptions.
I like Roman Wilson. I think we'll have more than Jalen Warren. Hey, well, look, especially if they don't go get another wide receiver, then it's definitely going to be Roman Wilson.
Jalen Warren still. I really do.
Oh, okay. Mark these down. Since
we should, right? I'll go back and
we keep picking the opposite here.
All right, I got a good one for you. This is kind of offbeat. More rushing attempts.
Ooh.
Justin Fields or Cordero Patterson?
Ooh, I like this one.
There's a world if Warren and Najee are healthy that Cordero Patterson doesn't get any.
I know. It's one of those. It's tricky because there's a world where Fields doesn't see it either unless they actually put in a wildcat package for him or something.
Which they're talking about.
I'm starting to speculate they are.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go Justin Fields.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be Justin Fields too. I really do. I think the plan for Cordero Patterson is strictly return.
Fields only has one guy in front of him. One guy. And if he gets hurt or sucks, he's getting plugged in. So
and
that's
he'll
how
have
I look
a lot
at
more.
It. Yeah, way more. And if they're talking about having a package put in for him, then yeah, I'm gonna go Fields. He has less in his way of getting that to happen.
I think I'm gonna go Fields as well. Most receptions. George Pickens or all the other wide receivers combined. Not tight ends, not running backs, just wide receivers.
George Pickens,
but as we stand right now, if they don't trade for anybody,
I think it goes in order: George Pickens, Roman Wilson, and then Van Jefferson.
Yeah, probably Van Jefferson. Yeah, I had to pick one.
But it'll be way less. Roman Wilson will be
drop off.
Will be 1/4 of what or not 1/4. I'll say half of what Pickens has, and then the rest it's really bad. It's
All right, more tackles. Landon Roberts or Patrick Queen?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go Patrick Queen.
This is a tough one for me. Landon Roberts led the team last year, right? With 100 and something tackles.
He was the only man left standing. Yeah. Literally the only man left standing.
I mean, if it's not Patrick Queen, I guess something's gone horribly wrong.
I mean, I would say something's definitely went wrong if it's not Queen. I mean, he's their guy. I mean, they just paid him tons of guaranteed money. So, he's going to get the reps more over Robert. I still speculate Peyton Wilson's out there more than Landon Roberts. I really do.
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
I think he's a better cover off ball linebacker. I just do. So I think that's what happens in this situation.
All right. Here's a couple snaps questions. More snaps. Darius Rush or Corey Trice?
More snaps?
Yeah. Who ends
Darius
up playing
Rush
more?
Or Corey Trice?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Trice.
Really?
I am.
I think Darius Rush.
Well, 2 reasons. One, I think he's their guy. They drafted Trice. 2, they saw what he could do when he's healthy. So as long as he's 100% healthy, this guy might be a steal for the Steelers. So I think he gets more of a shot than Rush. But those injuries are a concern.
Yeah. I think Rush could beat him out, though, with slot, corner, and maybe some safety.
Oh, absolutely.
In a pickle, too. So I think Darius Rush.
And he was their dime guy, right?
Yep.
So it could happen. So we'll see. I mean, there's a couple slots opened up for them to jump into here. So we'll see how it goes. But my inkling is to go with it's to go with Trice. He's the guy they drafted. That's their guy. That's what I think.
All right. More snaps. Logan Lee or DeMarvin Leal?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I think Logan Lee. Leal might be another one that might be gone looking for a job.
I think
come
Logan
cut
Lee was
time.
drafted specifically to push DeMarvin Leal off the roster. And if he
Yeah,
does well,
and I don't disagree with that. I think you're right
and there's a world where both of them could not make the roster.
because
There is
he's
a world.
technically the more athletic version of what they thought Liao would be. Correct.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, I think that I would go Logan Lee.
More snaps. Landon Roberts or Peyton Wilson?
Ooh. I'm going to go Peyton Wilson. I think early you see him go with his veteran and Roberts. And then by game like 4-ish, they can't turn away from Peyton Wilson because when they put him in there, he has an impact. So
I think Landon Roberts is going to get more, Dave. I think he's going to play more.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
On rundowns, you're not going to take a Landon Roberts off the field. And then in passing downs.
And that's a good point. That's a good point.
Take Queen off. You got to leave Queen on.
You have to leave Queen on. And then
you're going to have Queen and Wilson as coverage guys.
Probably. And it's also going to depend on the teams they face, too.
Yeah.
The matchups will decide that
as well. Yeah.
So I don't know. I have this really strong feeling about Peyton Wilson being like legit, and they can't deny him.
I hope you're right.
If you watch the tape, holy fuck, dude. I mean, I don't know how he's doing all this without an ACL, but God bless him.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah.
More sacks, Dave. TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith.
TJ Watt.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Alex Highsmith, Nate Herbig, and Larry Ogunjobi all combined.
All combined. Okay.
I know TJ's a runaway favorite, so I have to load it up.
Yeah, I was just like, really? But combined? So it's Highsmith, Ogunjobi, and Herbig combined.
Herbig. Yep.
Against TJ.
Yep. By the way, I think
I'll take the group.
I think TJ won by a lot last year. Let me look it up again.
He did. I don't think it was close.
He had 19. Highsmith had 7. Ogunjobi had 3. Yeah, and then I don't know. Herbig had 3. So that's 6-13. Yeah, he won it by 6 last year.
1 second. Darth said 2 things. Darth Sniper. He said Steelers need to prove that their reputation for picking good receivers is justified and start picking one each draft so they can afford to pay one other player. Yep, that's what you said. I think that's what you said too.
Yep.
And then he also said, didn't Wilson say that he has an ACL? Did he actually come out and say that? I didn't catch it. If he did, great. I'm glad to hear he's got an ACL. That makes me happy.
That makes us all feel a little better.
I would rather hear it's a repaired ACL than not have one at all. Like I can't even imagine. But yeah. But I'm gonna go with the group.
You gonna go with the group?
I don't know, man. TJ worried me, man, when he said, "Oh, I'm starting to feel old" or whatever. Like I didn't like that. I didn't like.
He beat that group by 6 sacks last year.
Yeah, by 6. So Herbig, you want to think has improved. Highsmith
can get more.
You want to believe is gonna some of those like hurries he had are gonna switch over to sacks, right?
Yeah.
If Ogunjobi's healthy, we know he can put up more than 3.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say they sneak by him this year.
Okay. I'm gonna go with TJ for one last big year.
Okay.
And beat them all.
All right.
All right. More snaps, Dave. Cam Hayward or Keanu Benton?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, they're theoretically going to play together a lot, but
I know, but I'm going to go Benton because Hayward's going to get hurt again.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too.
35, coming off major injuries.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mr. Guaranteed Money is going to be guaranteed an injury or 2. That's what I think.
I got a couple more, then we'll wrap this up. All right, more snaps. Broderick Jones, Troy Fuatanu, or Dan Moore?
Ooh, more snaps. I'm going to go Broderick Jones. You said Jones, right? Jones, Fuatanu, is more, right? I'm going to go Jones.
I kind of think Fuatanu is going to win the right tackle, and they're going to Jones and Moore are going to battle out the left tackle.
Really?
It'll start out Dan Moore, and Broderick Jones will eventually replace him. But
I loved how Dan Moore said that Fuatanu looks better at right tackle than he does.
I see that all the time on my timeline.
I love this man's brutal honesty. It's like, damn.
Dan Moore loves the way he looks at right tackle. Yeah, no shit, because he doesn't want to play right tackle.
Yeah. So, that's a hell of a gamble there to go with Fotano. I don't know. I'm going to go with Jones. Jones, I think, is the guy. It's his second season. They're essentially, I think they're done with Moore. I hope. At worst, dude, there's no fucking way. If they
would it shock you that Dan Moore is the starting left tackle and Fuitano is the starting right tackle?
What's sad is no, because Tomlin is stupid shit where he likes his veteran guys, like I said earlier.
It wouldn't shock me at all.
But I don't know. Maybe you do have it right. I don't know. I want to go with Jones. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but yeah.
All right, more receptions. Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington combined, or Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris combined.
Ooh, that's a good one. Here's the thing: we're not dealing with the Pickett's and the
dink and dunk offense.
Yeah, hopefully. The dink. Yeah, so I
hopefully
I think we're not dealing with that as much, and there's going to be such a focus on tight ends. I'm going to go ahead and go with Muth and you said Darnell Washington, correct?
Yeah, Darnell, the two tight ends or the two running backs. Who has more?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two.
I'm gonna go. I think Freiermuth's gonna have a big year, so I'm gonna go. Even though Jaylen Warren out of the backfield is incredible.
Oh, hey, here's a good one here. TJ on here said, talk of a Tomlin extension has been pretty quiet, hasn't it? Did I miss anything there? Dude, that's a good point.
You haven't missed anything.
That's a great point. Quiet. This was supposed to be what? It's supposed to be done over the summer, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I remember hearing someone say that he had one of his deals was done in like May, one of his extensions, and one of them was done in July. So I don't think we're in really red alert stage yet. But if they get to training camp and he's not signed to an extension, then we could start thinking, because the Steelers, if they don't want to sign you to long term, they don't fire you. They just let your contract play out. So
yeah,
who knows? I think my thing always has been Mike Tomlin's their biggest asset. If you're not happy with him, sign him and then trade him. Like if you don't like the way he coaches, don't just let him walk.
No, I mean, yeah, I know. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that I thought I saw something where July was when they were going to do it. I don't know why. July keeps popping in my head. Like I saw somewhere they're going to have him sign his contract in July. I'm not 100% on that.
He's done it before in July. So
what's that?
He's signed an extension in July before, so it wouldn't be outrageous if that happened.
So there you go, TJ. I think it's going to be July, bro. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's when it's going to be. Richard Gregory put on here, Dave made a Monday show. Salute to you, sir.
And we might not see many more of these. Dave's got a very busy baseball coaching schedule.
My 1 day off from baseball. Literally my 1 day off from baseball. It's insane. But yeah, I'm here for this Monday. So
all right, I got 2 more for you, then we'll wrap this up.
Next time you're going to go, my special guest, David Korb, is on the pod today.
It might come to that. It might.
Yeah.
2 more. And more interceptions. Minkah Fitzpatrick or Joey Porter Jr.?
More interceptions?
Yeah.
Minkah. I think you see Minkah big time this year come back.
I like it. I think
they finally went all out with the inside linebacker core. He doesn't got to be a third linebacker this season. I think you see him go off. I think we see the old Minkah. And by the way, none of it's his fault.
Absolutely. So I agree with you 100%. I think we're going to see the old Minkah this year. It's going to be fantastic. All right, last one. More total yards. This is receiving, rushing, whatever. Jaylen Warren or George Pickens? Now, last year they were almost dead even.
Give it to me one more time.
More total yards. Jaylen Warren or George Pickens?
Total yards.
Jaylen Warren had 754 yards rushing, and he had 370 receiving, which was about 1,100. And George Pickens had 1,100. They were almost even. Total yards last year.
Fuck. That's a tough one. God. You know what? I am going to go George Pickens. Yards, right? Total yards.
Total yards. Yeah, just.
The only reason why I'm going to go with George Pickens is because he's got an actual thrower now that's going to throw bombs.
Deep balls, yeah.
A lot of bombs.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see him have a lot of big-time catches. So that'll accumulate more yardage, basically. But Jalen Warren, man, that's tough.
Yeah,
He's
if Najee could get dinged up and he got to
right,
start
right.
like some
And
games,
he's
it could
such.
be.
And the thing we learned from the Kenny Pickett 100 dump offs is Jalen Warren is really fucking dangerous on those dump offs.
He is.
So,
Makes guys
like,
miss. He's hard to tackle in the open field.
yeah,
He's like a
like
little
really hard.
bowling ball.
Not that Najee is. Najee's just hard to tackle.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, dude. So it's tough. But I think this season is where which is also bad because he's gonna want paid. But I think we really see Pickens have a really good year.
Yeah, this could be a breakout year. We talked about it, I think, last week with Russell Wilson. Deep ball specialist. That's tailor made for George Pickens. I think he's gonna have a huge year. And you're right. They're gonna have to pay the man after that, which is not good. That was my last one. Dave, you got anything else before we wrap this up? It's a little tough getting content this time of year. There's literally nothing going on.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to really talk about. I mean, did we bring up the whole Fautano signing his thing, right? We brought that up, didn't we?
Yeah. It's only
right?
Zach Frazier left now.
So we talked about that. We covered that. Yeah, there's just not really a lot going on other than, what's his name? Justin Jefferson signing that big contract. So what will that affect?
From the wide receiver market upside down. I mean,
so I that's really it. I hope our next podcast I do with you probably 5 weeks from now, but still, is they went and got somebody. But I just want everybody to know the repercussions of this for next season. And that's all I'm putting out there with this.
My gut feeling is going to be either Deebo Samuel, like I said earlier, or Treylon Burks. I think, I don't know, man. I don't think they can, like we said, they can afford to make a big move like this. I really don't.
They have to if they want to push the needle over to be contenders this season. It's just it feels like it's a one and done thing. That's how I feel about this. It's almost going to be a one and done thing.
And that makes you wonder if this is Tomlin's last year.
Well,
and they're just going all in for his last year, and then they restock for next year. That's not out of the realm of possibility either.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It could be. I have no idea what's going on. But you wait, just wait. July. Let's see what happens in July. If July they haven't signed that extension yet, okay, something's up. So
if they've traded for a big time wide receiver, and Mike Tomlin's not signed going into training camp, I'm going to start to think that this is it. He told them, hey, I don't want to coach anymore after this year. Let's go all in for this one and see if we can win one. It's possible. You sign 2 quarterbacks. You sign Patrick Queen. You get your offensive line. And
so
there's some things there.
I don't know. Hey, there's just so many things to think about with that going and getting a big time wide receiver, the effect it is going to have on the whole team come next season is going to be huge. And I don't know if anybody realizes that. Yeah. It's going to be, that's why we're talking about it is because we see the years can come and how it's looking. So I don't know, but I'll be hyped though. I will be hyped for this season. Like I'll be like, oh hell yeah. Like,
100%.
But no, that's all I got, bro. I don't really, it's a slow week. So,
okay. You can find me on Twitter at SteelersSank16. Email the show at daver@SteelersSanctuary.com. Subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel, guys. That helps us out a lot. Spread the word. Tell them you like the show. Get more people listening. Dave, give me your stuff and let's get out of here.
Yeah, you can find me on X at DMC3SSP. You can find me on TikTok at Steelers Sanctuary Podcast or at SteelSankPod. You guys don't forget that I got the sports books at signupexpert.com/stuff for you guys like to bet on sports. That's it.
All right, guys. Until next time, thanks for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast.